Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can install and enable OpenSSH on your Ubuntu operating system. So using OpenSSH, when you have OpenSSH on your Ubuntu operating system or any other Linux operating system, you can access this Ubuntu operating system remotely using SSH from any other computer, right, which supports SSH. So let's see how we can check first of all if OpenSSH is installed, and then we will see how we can install it and use it. So first of all, open your terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt T, or you can go to the applications and then click on terminal, or you can directly search for terminal. Once terminal is open, just give this command, which is SSH, and then press enter. And if it gives this kind of output which says usage and then SSH and then a bunch of help flags, right? This means that SSH client is installed on your Ubuntu operating system. Using SSH client, you can connect to any remote system using this SSH client using its IP and username. So for that, you can use SSH command and then space user, which is the username of your remote computer, which you want to connect to, and then @IP address of that remote operating system. It can be host name or IP address, right? And then if that remote operating system have different port other than 22. So by default port for SSH connection is 22, but if it has some other port configured, then you can just give -p and then the port, for example 443 or any other port, right? So this is how you can connect to that remote system. Now, in order to check whether OpenSSH server is installed on your Ubuntu operating system, you can give this command, which is SSH localhost, which is essentially going to check whether SSH is installed locally on your operating system, right? So if it gives this kind of error which says SSH connect to host localhost port 22 refused, then OpenSSH server is not installed, right? So let's see how we can install it. So let me clear the terminal, and here you can first of all give this command sudo apt update, for example. So just give this command update and then press enter and give your Ubuntu's password and wait for this command to finish. And once this command is finished, we are going to clear our terminal, for example, and then to install the OpenSSH server, give this command sudo apt install OpenSSH-server. Okay, and then press enter and press Y and then press enter once again, which is going to start the installation of OpenSSH server on your Ubuntu operating system. So just wait for this command to finish. The command is now finished successfully. I have this error related to Jenkins, which has nothing to do with this installation. I have some problem with Jenkins installation, which it's complaining right now, but OpenSSH server is now installed. Now, how you can check whether OpenSSH server is installed? So when OpenSSH server is installed, it creates a service, and then you can check whether that service is running or not, right? So you can just write sudo systemctl and then status and then SSH. Okay, and if that is active, that's good because OpenSSH server is running successfully. If it's not working or it says inactive or some kind of red here instead of green active, then to enable it, you can simply give this command, which is sudo systemctl enable and then -- now and then SSH, which is going to enable OpenSSH, right? Now, once OpenSSH is active and running, you can give once again this command SSH local host and then press enter. And this time you can see it gives us this kind of output. That means that this command is trying to connect to the OpenSSH server which you have installed on your local operating system, which is this Ubuntu itself, right? If you give username and then the IP address and then the port here instead of localhost, then this command is going to connect or try to connect to that remote operating system, right? So right now we are connecting to our local host using SSH just to test whether it's working or not. And it says, are you sure you want to continue connecting? I will just press yes here and then press enter. And then you can see it's asking me for the password of the system which I want to connect to, right? In this case, it's localhost. So I'm going to provide the password of my local operating system. So let me give that password. And once that's finished, I am connected remotely to my local host itself, right? So this was just to check whether SSH is working. Now from now on, you can connect to this Ubuntu operating system from any other operating system which support SSH client, right? So you can give the username and IP address and hopefully the password of your Ubuntu operating system, and then you can allow someone remotely or you yourself remotely to connect to this Ubuntu operating system. Now let's say if you want to change the default port number for OpenSSH server on your Ubuntu operating system. The default port, as I mentioned earlier, is 2022, and let's say you want to change this default port to some other port. So you can give this command, which is sudo. You can either give nano or gedit or any other editor you want to use. I'm going to use gedit here, and then /etc/sshd_config. Okay, and then press enter and then give your Ubuntu's password, and it's going to open this file in your editor. In my case, it's gedit. Now, as I said, the default port is port 2022. You can change it by just uncommenting this line and then change it to your port, right? So for example, I want to just connect or change this port to 2244, for example, right? So if this port is free on your Ubuntu operating system, from the next time you can use this port to connect to your remote or this operating system. So let me save this file, and once I save it, I can just close this. And once I close this, let me clear the terminal, and once you are done, you have to restart your SSH service. So you can just write sudo first and then systemctl and then your command, which is restart. So we want to restart the service, right? And then SSH. So because we have changed the configuration of SSH, we have to reload this service with the new configuration. So I'm going to just restart it by giving this command and giving my Ubuntu's password. And then I can even check the status after the restart. So let me just check the status here, and it's running, right? So now I will try to connect to this OpenSSH server using SSH localhost, then -p, and then give the new port, which is 2244 in my case. And now I am connected using this port. If I have given SSH localhost command without the port, which is 22 by default, but we have changed it, right? So if we give this command, openssh client is going to connect to the default port and it will refuse the connection, right? This default port is 22, but we have changes. So you have to give this port now to connect to your openssh server, right? So that's it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next video.